Hey guys, it's Abby from Ultimate Pellinor, and first things first, Black Lives Matter. Black lives still matter despite what you might see in the media. Keep fighting. I've been watching Princess a lot. I will link her channel down below, and she always starts off her videos by reminding every single viewer that Black lives matter. Her life matters. Every black person's lives matter. So definitely check her out down below. Now on to my October wrap-up. So it's been an interesting month, as per, but I did manage 5 books and I'm really happy with that. Most of these were read at the end of the month, and I am filming this on the 31st, so I am going to try and read a thriller today because Halloween. I don't know if I'll manage it, but if I will, it'll be in my November wrap-up. So let's get into the books that I did read. So first up, we have a book that I gave 5 stars. That's Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. This was fucking amazing. This was... Thank you, washing machine. Hopefully that'll help. This was fucking awesome. Like, it took so long to get through. It was such a slow read, but I enjoyed it the whole way despite that, which I was not expecting. I was obsessed. I was so engrossed. I adored this. I really want to carry on with the series. I will say I need to do some research into Mr. Kristoff. I have heard some bad things, so I would like to know more. But this book, all of the noise distractions, shut up dog. This book, separate from anything else because I don't know enough right now to include that, was fucking amazing. The writing is so intense, the world building is beautiful, I care so much about all of the characters, and I loved the magic system within it and how that developed throughout, and I really want to carry on and read the next books in this series. And I need the matching covers, of course, because this is gorgeous. So thank you so much to Carrie from Caring for Books because she gifted me this. Love you! Where am I going to put them? There. The next book I finished is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle, or Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I was reorganising my bookshelves and this big boy stuck out, and I just kind of decided to pick it up because I tend to get through Sherlock stories quite quickly, and I did. This is why I have the coffee here. Please ignore the mug. We don't stan. This is like the full bind-up of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So there are a few different books. There's 3 bind-ups, I believe, that Arthur Conan Doyle came out with. Can I see what they are? Probably not. No, I can't see what they are, but there's like The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, The Return of Sherlock Holmes, and another thing are like 3 bind-ups. So this is The Adventures. I really enjoyed reading through this. I really like this style of mystery, of like historical settings. I mean, it was contemporary at the time, but like going back to then and having to rely on observation. I really enjoy these. So like Miss Marple and Poirot are books that I love as well. So yes, I think I gave this 4 stars. I think it was really enjoyable, and I am looking forward to finally finishing all of the Sherlock books one day. See, like, look at what the... I don't even know if you can see it. But anyway. So then the next book that I read was my reread for the booktube rereadathon. The prompt for this month... Oh, I'm so bad at this. I'm so sorry, Alex and Abby. It's hosted by Alex Black Reads and Abby Mac Reads. I cannot remember the prompt for this month. All I can remember is that September, October, November, December, I can read my 4 books of Pellinor. So that's what I'm doing. This is, if it wasn't obvious, the 2nd book of Pellinor. In the 1st book, The Gift, or the naming in the US, we follow Myrad. She is a slave in Gilman's Cot, and she is discovered by Cadfan, who is a bard, which in this world is kind of like a magician. But like, he would tell you off for saying that. She has a deeper meaning. She's like the chosen one. And so they're travelling to find out what that means and what they're going to have to do and what she's going to have to do to live this life. In this book, she's still trying to find out the riddle of what they've been told to search, and for her to kind of develop. And this one is a lot more of her by herself rather than with Cadfan. She is travelling alone a lot more of the time, and it is a really interesting read. Alison Croggon manages to make my mood dip and rise along with my rides. So there are heartbreaking points in this, and I had to stop reading and like leave the book for a while because I was too sad to continue. And then there were points of happiness where I was just beaming. This is a reread. I've read it well more than 20 times. It's just by the fact it's falling apart. So it's not like any of this was a particular surprise reading through it, and yet I still adored it so much, and I give this 5 stars. Then I read Black Enough, edited by Ibi Zoboi, but it's got a variety of authors in it. It's Renee Watson, Variah Johnson, Leah Henderson, Lamar Giles, Caleb Magoon, Jason Reynolds, Brandy Colbert, Toshi Onyebuchi, Liara Tamani, Jay Coles, Rita Williams-Garcia, Tracy Baptiste, Danielle Clayton, Justina Ireland, Cole Booth, Nick Stone and Ibi Zoboi. And this is a collection of short stories about what it's like to be black in America. It's a YA collection. They are all young adult based little stories, and I think I ended up giving this 3.8 something when I averaged out the ratings for all of the different stories. I gave them all a rating out of 5 stars. Quite a few of them are like 4, 4.5, one was 5, which was Danielle Clayton's. It was amazing. I adore her writing so much. There's definitely authors, there's definitely authors from this book that I'm going to have to now go find, because I really did love their writing in here. There were a couple of stories that I wasn't so keen on. I'm not going to point them out because that just seems like dickish. So there were a couple of ones that I wasn't so keen on, just the plot point was interesting, obviously the concept is a really important one, but I just didn't connect the characters in terms of, I didn't want to pick up the book. Like, I don't need to be the same as a character to connect with the character. They can be very different from myself and I can still connect with them. I just need to understand their emotions, and I'm a very empathetic person, so that comes quite easily to me. And there were a couple of stories here where I just didn't think that their humanity was delved into quite enough for me to connect. But that was only 1 or 2 stories that, again, I'm not going to mention because it seems like a dick move. But I did really enjoy this. Gave it the 3.8 stars. And I'm really glad that I read it. I also really want to then mention as well, there is a foreword in the English copy by June Sarpong. There's a foreword in the general copy by Ibi Zoboi, but June Sarpong does a foreword in the British edition, and it tells the reader how these relate to us here in the UK. And I think that's a really important addition and was a really good thought put in by HarperCollins there to add that at the beginning. And I will say thank you to Laura Stephen, who is the publisher of so many wonderful YA books, because she gifted this book to me. And then my last read for October, not including any thrillers that I do or don't read, was Dark Heart by Ibi Endacott. I finally read the last book that Alice currently has out. I loved it. So I will say I gave it 4 stars. There was one thing that I didn't like. To keep it spoiler free, our main character Freya goes to a new location and settles in rather quickly. And I didn't like that. I'm not going to say any more because it will like ruin everything. This is the 3rd book in the series. In the Dark Trilogy specifically, the God-Kith Continent is massive and I adore it. But yes, so that was like slightly too quick. I wasn't so keen on how quickly she was integrated into this new situation. But other than that, I loved it so much, so much. I adore Alice's writing. It's so evocative, so emotional, pulls on all of the heartstrings and all of the emotions, and I really enjoyed learning more about Freya Cook. I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong. It's like K-U-C-H? Yeah. So like her name's Freya Cook? I say Cook, but then I also have like Germanic learnings and a British background, so I don't know if it's Cooch or what. So yeah, I'll have to check the pronunciation of that with Alice. There is a daughter of someone in here whose name, like the pronunciation of it is explained, which was handy. But this is just a beautiful fantasy book. I struggle whether to place it in young adult or adult. I think it would fit into new adult, but obviously that realm is more currently saved for like sexy books, and it ain't. So it is like in between YA and adult, and it's just a beautiful, amazingly built fantasy world that delves into so many topics of love and of magic and of society and religion and friendship. And Alice is a beautiful writer, and I can't wait to pick up every single book that she ever writes. And those are the 5 books that I read in October. Not in order, because this fucker is awkward. So let me know if you guys have read any of these. I know a few of you will have read Nevernight, and it's amazing, so I'm very happy to chat about that down below. And the Riddle, tell me if you guys have read any of the Pelennor books, because of course I love them, if it wasn't already obvious. I'm so glad I finally got to Black Enough. It took me far too long, and it was a really great read. I love Alice's work, and like Sherlock. So yes, thank you so much for watching, guys. I also know that I have been, I'm not holding these, they're heavy. I've been a bit absent. Work is taking its toll, as well as just trying to find the time to read. So, you get me when you get me. Love yous. Thank you so much for watching. If you do want to see me, it's meant to be like every week, like Saturday, Sunday. If you wanna, then like, hit subscribe, and if not, catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.